folks, it's Chris with the Meeples Market, and I'm going to do a little first impressions on this new Gargoyles Awakening game by Ravensburger / Disney. We just played a couple of times. I'll start it off by saying I'm a big fan of the Gargoyles show back when I was a kid. I was really excited when I saw this was coming out because I thought everybody forgot this existed. We'll do positives first and I'll end with the negatives. No, we'll do negatives first and we'll end with the positives. That way we'll end on a positive note. Negatives. Game's pretty luck based. I'll say in all of our plays we lost. And on our last play here, we lost when a character was at full hit points at the start of their turn, and then the villains activated, and with one attack the person was killed, and that ended the game. So that kind of sucks when things are looking good. You get hit with that, and then you lost the game, and there wasn't anything that could be done that you could. There wasn't any like outplay. There was nothing. So the luck is pretty heavy on that. Limited decision making, I would say. You don't have a lot of options of what you're going to do on your turn. You get 3 cards in your hand that you can use for actions, and then you have a base move and a base attack that you can do. So if the cards in your hand, like the first game we played, the cards that I had in my hand weren't really relevant. They were like reaction cards, so I couldn't play those on my turn. My option was to move around or do my base attack on the board. So not a lot of like decision space, I guess. It's pretty simple. Another negative, not really a negative for me, but a negative I could see other people seeing, is on the cards. On all the cards in the game, there's no flavor text or anything. I know a lot of games now, whatever, they'll have all the game stuff, and at the bottom there might be some flavor text. I'm not into flavor text. I don't really care. But there is some blank space at the bottom of the cards. There's just the art, and then the only thing on the card is the actual effects and the stats. So there's the title of the card, Volley, and then it tells you that it attacks for 2. You move 2 and attack for 3. That's it. So that could be better. So another negative that we got is, to me, it's kind of a little lackluster or lame that we've got these miniatures for the heroes, and then we've got standees for the villains, which is cool. I mean, I can get by. Gloomhaven uses miniatures for the characters, and then the enemies are standees. But then on top of that, we go like down one more step, and if you're not one of the main villains, the enemies are just these little, they're standees, but there's not any clips. They don't stand up or anything, so you just like lay them down on the board. I guess they're called movers. So it's not that great to have, you have these little movers around on the board. And since they're not standing up, you kind of need to look up and see them, and especially with the buildings and stuff, if you're up on a tall building, it's not that easy to see what the mover is or the stats and stuff that are on it. So I think it would have been cooler if they had included a couple more of the plastic clips so you could stand stuff up and see it better. As it is now, what they want you to do is, so the mover's facing you, and then if you do like a stun effect on it, since normally in a game, if you stun something, you lay it down. You can't lay it down, so you have to rotate it sideways. I don't like that either, though, because, I mean, you might have people sitting all around the board, and then you're rotating the stuff because it's stunned, but then someone might not notice that, so then they don't think it's, I don't know. To me, it's just kind of messy. So that would have been cooler if they gave you stands for these. Probably would have made the experience... It wouldn't have saved the game by any means, but it would have made the experience better. Lastly, it's just not really exciting or fun. I didn't have fun. There wasn't a single time where I was like, "Woo, this is fun," or like, "Oh wow, I can't believe we just did that," or "Holy cow, that was crazy." It was just kind of like, all right, here we go. I'm going to do this. I'll do that. I guess I'll do that because those are I can move and attack, or I could stand here and do nothing. That's all I can do. So it just wasn't really that exciting for me. So that's it for the negatives. For the positives, to spice things up a little bit. I think this is a good family or entry level game for people who are just trying to get into like action point spending and like dice rolling attack games. Like I said, the negative for me is that it's super streamlined and straightforward. There's not a lot of decision making. But for people who haven't played a lot of these games where you're moving miniatures around the board and rolling dice to attack, I think this is as basic as you can really get. The most advanced concept, I would say, is that there's a glide ability separate from your movement, that if you start on top of a building and glide, it lets you move further than if you were standing on the ground. So that's cool, but otherwise I think anybody could pick this up and kind of play it. So that's cool. Another positive is the board that you see here. I think it's pretty neat for a game that you buy at Target to have all of this little 3D terrain. Yeah, it's made out of cardboard, and some of them are iffy getting put together, but it still kind of makes the game pop out, makes it kind of cool, gives it better table presence, so that's a positive. The theme, if you like the Gargoyles theme, it's a no-brainer. Like I said, I used to love this show, and it's cool seeing all the characters back. I did start the game with my favorite character, and he wasn't that great. So, and then lastly, the price of the game. It was only $30. Got it at Target. Like most of, I think like all the Ravensburger games, they're coming out at like $30. The Target ones. So for $30, you get a co-op game with minis, custom dice, a couple different scenarios, and the minis are actually pretty cool. Each mini's a different color for the characters, and they've got like sparkle stuff that makes it look kind of like stone or granite and stuff, which is a cool effect I haven't seen on minis before, and it's cool that they have this in a game that's so accessible and cheap. So that's pretty sweet. So yeah, got the notes right here. Final thoughts on it, really. I'm not really interested in playing it anymore. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I thought it was gonna be like Horrified. It's got good reviews. Everybody always says like Horrified's a good, easy, simple co-op family game. And I kind of thought this was gonna be the same thing with a theme I might like more in dice, which I love. But this is like this just feels even more simplified than Horrified as a game. So Horrified's kind of at the bottom of my simplicity that I'm looking for in a co-op game, and this is below that. So I'm likely not going to play this again. This will probably be in one of our upcoming Leaving Our Collection videos after these first impressions. Disclaimer, again, this was only after a handful of plays, so for all I know, after you play all the scenarios and maybe somehow something clicks, I don't know. But for me, I'd say pass on this unless you super love gargoyles or have a family or are looking for a more entry-level game without a whole lot of rules to go around. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. If you liked the video, feel free to hit us with a thumbs up. We do like that, and it lets us know that you like what we did. Feel free to subscribe to so you know when we put out new content, or leave a comment down below with anything you want to say. Thank you.